Sports Talk with the Cowboy.
Welcome, and thanks for riding with the Cowboy. Well, it was a great victory, 37-20 the other day of Tampa Bay Buccaneers' first game against the Washington Commanders. It was a great game for Baker Mayfield. Threw the ball around the field. McMillan, a new receiver, got a touchdown. Godwin got a touchdown. Evans got a touchdown. Baker looked superb. Bucky Irvin run the ball well. Rashad White run the ball well. All was well on the offense. Looked good against the Washington Commander team, but it was a great game. And it was a good offensive showing. The defense held them to 20 points. Jalen Daniels had a pretty good game. But it was a great game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to kick off their 2024 season with a victory at home in front of a sold-out crowd, with a lot of enthusiasm, with a lot of pomp and circumstance before the game, and everybody played well. We did suffer quite a lot of defensive injuries. We lost Jordan Whitehead. We lost a couple of our cornerbacks, concussion. One had a broken leg, broken ankle. He's out. Bryce Hall out for the year. And wish him well. Come back, come from the Jets, came down with Whitehead this spring and summer, and he was really an integral depth piece to our cornerback core. He went out. McCullum, concussion, he went out. He's in concussion protocol. Winfield, our safety, twisted his ankle and has sprained his ankle pretty badly. He's probably out for 2 to 3 weeks, and this week against Detroit up in Ford Field. So we did experience some loss in our defensive backfield. We went out and got Jonathan Isaac that we used to have on the team. We picked him back up and put him back on the active roster for some depth. And we're going to see how Zion McCullum comes through this concussion. He could come through it and be able to start on Sunday against the Detroit Lions. But that was the only negative part of the game. We did look real well. Everybody played real well. We had 2 sacks. Joe Tryon-Sharenko, who on this show at Sports Talk with the Cowboy, we get down on quite regularly. Joe Tryon, he actually got a sack. Congratulations to Joe Tryon-Sharenko. And congratulations to Severny Dennis that started his first game, or played in his first game on a regular season basis Sunday in the opener and got a sack himself. So that was 2 sacks for the defense of the Buccaneers. A great game, great offensive game, very exciting. Had everybody seeing how great Baker Mayfield can be as a quarterback in our offense under new offensive coordinator Liam Cohen play. Now this week again is a big test. The team that beat us last year, the team that went on the NFC Championship game, the Detroit Lions, who beat the Los Angeles Rams on Monday Night Football in a very dramatic overtime win. So this is going to be a tough team, the Detroit Lions, who we play Sunday at 1 o'clock at Ford Field. It's going to be a tough matchup. I want us to go in there and have thoughts of winning this game. We're able to win it. We almost won it last year, but I know it's going to be a physical and demanding and very tough game. I hope we come out of there with no injuries. And I'm sure everybody will be watching the game, and we can only hope that everything goes well. Again, those are the injuries that we have right now. Calais Campbell's still out with a calf. That's day-to-day. He's a defensive lineman, as you know. But it's all on the defensive side of the ball for right now with the Buccaneers. But a tremendous start to the season and the first win. And we got this game against the Lions on Sunday. So everybody tune in, and we can hope that they can go up there and win us a second game. And we also had other action. We had the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Miami Dolphins go into overtime with the Dolphins winning that game by 3 points. Congratulations to Miami. The Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Baltimore Ravens in a tough game, which the receiver on the Ravens' toe was out about a half an inch on the white line, or it would have been into overtime. That's how close that game was between the Ravens and the Chiefs. That could be the AFC Championship game. We had the Eagles against the Packers in the first time ever in Brazil. And Jordan Love, the quarterback of the Panthers, is injured in the last quarter of the game. Could be out 4 weeks. Very, very important for all you Green Bay Packer fans, because 4 weeks plus the loss could be detrimental to your chances of making it to the Super Bowl this year. So we've got to keep an eye on that injury. So these injuries are very, very important, as we all know, because it only takes an injury, God forbid, to a Patrick Mahomes, and your whole season has changed, okay? So we just hope that there's no injuries nowhere else. But there's been tremendous football play this weekend. For the first weekend of the NFL, and I know everyone who's sent comments to the show have expressed how great of games they were throughout the spectrum. They did not disappoint, and we know that the second week won't disappoint this week. So we'll all continue to watch, and next show we'll go over what happened during those games. And we're now going to move on to college football because it took President last week and its third weekend going. Main teams, the main top 10 teams, no change except for Notre Dame being beat by Northern Illinois, which is an upset, and knocking them out of the top 10 in the college football rankings. A lot of college games all over the country, all 106 teams playing. That's over 50 games every weekend. And they will start this Friday, Saturday. So no major upsets as far as Ole Miss, Georgia, Texas. Texas defeat the former world champions Michigan Wolverines last week in a big game. So some great games in college football to tune into this weekend, and we know you will be looking for them. FSU did not play last week. They had a bye week. University of Florida won against Samford, and they had their first victory. And University of Miami went out and won both their games. They're 2-0 as they go into their game this weekend. Keep track of the college football. We will next week. Now we're going to go on to the hockey news, which wasn't any except that training camp starts in the middle of October, October 10th. So that will be your first practice for preseason for your hockey. They're skating over at the Amalie Arena on a voluntary basis whenever they want to come in and keep in shape by skating, and they can skate with any of their teammates if they like. But on October 10th, they will go into the regular training camp there at Amalie Arena. So look forward to that. The Rays play the Phillies tonight, the second game. Last one out would be defeated 9-4. The game starts in about 30 minutes. They will then take a break and come back towards St. Petersburg. We'll see what they have in another series. They're about 5 games out right now. Mathematically still in it, but not. They seem to win one, lose one, as we said all year long. That's what's going on with our Tampa Bay Rays right now. And so now we want to go to NASCAR. NASCAR's race in Atlanta. Joey Logano wins the race and moves ahead in the points of the playoffs. This is the second playoff race of the NASCAR playoffs. Nothing much changes. We got us a race Sunday. We'll keep you posted on that next week. And now we're going to go to our questions for tonight. And the first question is from Anna. And Anna wanted to know what I thought of Baker Mayfield's performance. And Anna, I thought Baker Mayfield played a real good game Sunday. He eluded a couple of sacks. He threw his touchdowns. He looked sharp. We looked good. We had rhythm. We had a running game, which is, Anna, as you know, we didn't have last year. We do have this year a running game with Bucky Irvin and with Rashad White. We have a good running game. And that two-headed monster is good to have. And it looked real well the other day. And Anna, I think Baker Mayfield did real good, and if he can stay upright, he's going to have a great season. And we've got a great chance of reaching further than we did last year, Anna. Very much enthusiastic over what he did Sunday. Look, see what he does this week against the Detroit Lions. It's going to be a different atmosphere for sure. God bless you for your question. And the next one's from Pete. And Pete wanted to know what I thought of the new kickoff in the NFL. And Pete, the new kickoff in the NFL is all to do with concussions, where we know they line up only 5 yards apart out there, and then they kick the ball. Nobody can move until the receiver catches the ball. So if you're a receiver in the NFL now, you ain't got to worry about nobody hitting you when you catch the ball, because they can't move until you put the ball in your hand. And they're only 5 yards apart from the other guy, so they're not going to pick up too much speed, because they're only 5 yards between the players. So this is why they did this, so that there would be no concussions. Nobody running down the field and the guy's looking to catch the ball and hit him. That's over. You're never going to get hit that way no more, because you got to catch the ball before they can move. So I think it's good for the concussions, Pete. We hadn't seen one broke yet, but we're going to see a few broke, because they're going to get up to that line and get through that one line. They're going to go. Well, we'll see that this week, Pete. Maybe we'll be watching for it. But Pete, that's what they did it for, to stop the concussions of the kickoff teams, so that when the ball got kicked, the kicking team could not move until he caught the ball. And then they closed down the distance between the two teams, where they used to could pick up speed 15, 20 yards. Now they go only 5 yards apart. They can't pick up that speed. The other team be right up on them, see. So it's going to help the concussions. There's no question. You're not going to see no kick returners being taken off for catching the ball this year. Thank you for your question, Pete. And the last question tonight is from Beverly. And Beverly wanted to know what I thought about Tyreek Hill being arrested by the police in front of Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And I don't know the actual details of what happened down there with Tyreek Hill. He was pulled out of his Lamborghini going speeding or whatever without a seatbelt or something. And he mouthed off to the cop, they say. But listen, I don't know the details of it. So they cuffed him up. But they are on suspension. And I have seen some body camera, but I didn't get enough to really know. But the officers that were there and initiated his detention have been put on administrative leave. That should tell you something. Of course, he's high profile, and when there's an investigation like this, they put him. They didn't hurt him, but they uncuffed him and they gave him a ticket. And he went on and played football, and he caught a touchdown pass. But I don't know that. I'll revisit that next week when I can learn more about the information. I don't know any more about the information other than what I just shared with you. But God bless you and thank you for your question. And tonight, before I leave, I want to remember the 3,000 who died on this day in the World Trade Center attack, 9/11, 2001. And that attack that killed Americans by terrorists, the worst domestic attack of terrorism in the history of the United States of America, even greater than Pearl Harbor. Over 3,000 killed in New York City, hundreds killed in Washington, and then another 100 out in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, when the actual hostages in the plane decided to rush the pilot and take him out and know they would die so that plane didn't get back and hit another building. Heroes. So we want to remember them tonight. And God, until next show, God bless you and Cowboy out.